Non-metals. So in the previous class you have learned that there are very few non-metals as compared to metals. Some of the examples of non-metals are carbon, sulfur, iodine, oxygen, hydrogen, etc. The non-metals are either solids or gases except bromine, which is a liquid. So non-metals can be solids or gases or liquid. Only bromine is the liquid. So do non-metals also have physical properties similar to that of metals? So let us find that. So we will do an activity here in activity 3.7. So collect samples of carbon, coal or graphite, sulfur and iodine. Carry out the activities 3.1, 4 to 6 with these non-metals and record the observations. Means we will check for all hardness, malleability, ductility, conducts electricity or sonority, types of surface, whether lustrous or not, right? So we will check all these properties for the non-metals. Then on the basis of the observation, discuss the general physical properties of metals and non-metals in the class. So you must have concluded that we cannot group elements according to the physical properties alone. So as there are many exceptions, right? So it's saying that means in the periodic table it's not only the physical properties, based on that we have arranged that elements. So there are for example the chemical properties on which are basis for the arrangement of the elements in the periodic table. So what are the exceptions? जैसे ये बोल रहे हैं कि there are exceptions. For example, all metals except mercury exist as solids at room temperature. So of course, as we say, metals are mostly the solids, but there is a mercury which is a liquid. So in activity 3.5 you have observed that metals have high melting point, but gallium and cesium have very low melting points. So these two metals will melt if you keep them on your palm. तो इसमें रखें मतलब इतना कम मेल्टिंग पॉइंट है कि palm पे अगर हम रखें, so that's only 37 degrees centigrade like our body temperature, so it will start melting. Iodine is a non-metal but it is lustrous. हम तो कहते हैं कि नॉन मेटल जो है there is no luster, but there is iodine is a non-metal which is lustrous, which shines. Carbon is a non-metal that can exist in different forms. Each form is called an allotrope. Diamond, an allotrope of carbon, is the hardest natural substance known and has a very high melting and boiling point. So we say that the metals are hard, but here one of the non-metal is the hardest substance, that is the diamond, which is an allotrope of carbon. So graphite, another allotrope of carbon, is a conductor of electricity. We say that like the non-metal gases are not the good conductor. Here the graphite is a non-metal, but it is a good conductor of electricity. Alkali metals, lithium, sodium, potassium, are so soft that they can be cut with a knife. They have low densities and low melting points, right? This is again exception. Most of the metals, they are hard. Have you seen the activity? It's difficult to cut, right? So, but these lithium, sodium and potassium have low densities and they can be cut with a knife. So elements can be more clearly classified as metals and non-metals on basis of their chemical properties. So next is the activity 3.8. Take a magnesium ribbon and some sulfur powder. Burn the magnesium ribbon. Collect the ashes formed and dissolve them in water. Then the resultant solution. Test the resultant solution with red and the blue litmus paper. So is the product formed on burning magnesium acidic or basic? Now burn sulfur powder. Place a test tube over the burning sulfur to collect the fumes produced. Add some water to the above test tube and shake. Test this solution with blue and red litmus paper. Is the product formed on burning sulfur acidic or basic? can you write equations for these reactions? So in this activity we say that, so when we burn a like the one of the, it's a metal and other one is the non-metals, and whatever the product form oxide, right? So we'll check it with the red and blue litmus paper, which are basically to test the whether it is an acidic or basic solution, right? Okay, and to these oxides, when we put it in water, and then we'll again check it for acidic or basic with this red or blue litmus paper. Most non-metals produce acidic oxides when dissolved in water. On the other hand, most metals give rise to basic oxides, right? So we'll learn more about in the next video.